Welcome to Real Estate Coaching Radio, starring award-winning real estate coaches and #1 international best-selling authors, Tim and Julie Harris. This is the #1 daily radio show for realtors looking for a no BS, authentic, real-time coaching experience. What's really working in today's market, how to generate more leads, make more money, and have more time for what you love in your life. And now your hosts, Tim and Julie Harris.
3, 2, 1, and we're back. And Julie, it is lovely August the 10th. We're here in Carmel by the Sea. This is the official start of Car Week, and I have to say, I have been having problems sleeping at night because I'm so excited.
I know. That and the 47 cups of coffee that you've had in anticipation of seeing all the cars, which
Yes.
is why you're also talking really fast.
It starts today.
Yippee! I know you're giddy.
I am. I'm going to continue to post pictures on Instagram of Car Week for I suppose it may be that there's 7 or 8 of you that like the car pictures based on the comments we're getting. But nonetheless, this is something that is for anyone, not just if you're in the car hobby or not, but for anybody. This is quite the cultural experience, a mishmash of humanity. Of all different socioeconomic classes, of all just different, ethnicities and all different, just everything you could possibly imagine, certainly socioeconomic situations. Mm-hmm. That's the thing ultimately that draws me back to the car hobby. Not only do I love cars, but it's the people that make the hobby so magnificent. You can be looking at some sort of, and I've had this experience, I'll be looking at some sort of whatever it is, and then I'll be just striking up a conversation with somebody who is noticing the same little, ridiculous detail or some little special thing that we were just sort of both, just appreciating. And I'll talk with this person and talk with the person, and then they'll walk away, and I won't think anything of the conversation until then later I realized I just talked with Ralph Lauren, or I just talked with somebody.
Jay Leno is around a lot.
Exactly. I mean, these conversations, that's the thing that's nice about certain hobbies, is that it breaks through all the cultural barriers, socioeconomic barriers, because everyone's there. Sports are like that too, mm-hmm. But everyone's there to appreciate just this common interest, and that's really something that I look forward to, being around my people.
Your people, indeed.
Which is every people, is my point.
Yes.
Everyone who
right.
appreciates the cars, and certain kinds of cars are my people. So anyway, I'm not going to ramble on and bore the 99% of you that could care less about any of this.
Well, but we did have a special request.
We did.
So I'm not sure who it was. You just told me about this 5 seconds ago, but they wanted to know exactly what coaching even is. We talk about it all the time as if everybody knows. And I think that there is a difference between, say, coaching and training, right? So training is you need to get more listings. And, there's lots of different ways to do it, but, build your listings. Coaching is showing you how to do it.
So the best way to think about it is essentially when you're in a classroom and someone's in front of you and they're lecturing at you, that's teaching, that's training. That's mm-hmm. essentially what most of you have free access to. Training is not the same as coaching. Coaching is when you hire a mentor or you have an actual personal coach that works with you, that helps you to get better at your individual strengths and improve your strengths, and obviously identify your weaknesses and improve on those as well. A coach is going to be somebody that is highly experienced with working one-on-one with someone to pick up those little nuanced differences so that they can get better at in whatever aspect of it is that you're trying to improve on. And usually the interesting thing is what a really good coach is going to do is they're going to pick up on the places that you need to improve on that you didn't even realize you did. And it could just be all kinds of little, how you hold yourself, or in terms of your posture. It could be how you
could be anything, really.
Talk, how you, right. I mean, there's just so many little nuanced differences that can be the difference between you being successful and not successful with, competing for listings primarily. And those are the types of things that a really good coach is going to do that you're never going to get from somebody who's just doing a bunch of YouTube videos. And there's the trainer. Yeah. Trainers have their place. Trainers are a great place to get started, to sort of help you to realize that you need to get better. But really, if you want to go to the next level, that's what coaching is all about. And so
it's the difference between a teacher and a tutor. A tutor is going to find what you need.
So what is coaching? What is Premier Coaching? Coaching, basically, when you join our coaching program, you're going to have access to all of the material that we've created over the years that's designed to help you build your coaching business, your real estate business, primarily focused initially on lead generation. So we're going to show you the different ways to generate leads proactively and passively. We're going to show you all the different systems that we've developed and created that are going to be designed to help you to generate leads consistently. Now, again, our posture in the real estate business is to definitely focus on proactive lead generation first and then passive lead generation second. So we do primarily focus on a skills-based approach opposed to buying leads and things like that, which is a lot of the reasons why we've been in the business for so long, because so many agents have discovered that buying leads is usually an act of futility. There is a place for buying business and branding and marketing and all the rest of it, but it comes well down the road after you've established yourself with a skills-based business. And really what the coaching business does is it creates this A to Z approach to business. To your real estate practice. You are getting started is a perfect program for you. We've got definite material there for agents that are getting started, agents who want to build their business, 90-day massive action plans, just all kinds of different things that are really going to lock you into making money and learning while you earn, which is a big caveat to what we do, which is an important element, is that we don't want you to sit around and learn and then earn. We want you to actually get into action working directly with customers. We're going to show you how to do it while you're earning, because then you're going to learn a lot faster than if you just were, convinced yourself that you need to sit around and study something for 6 months, which is to Julie's point yesterday about getting ready to get started and procrastinating. We don't want you to do that. We want you to jump right in and start earning money. Now, we want you to consider gravitating all your best efforts towards becoming a listing agent. And so we have modules and tons of books and lots of information on exactly how to master the art and science of being a listing agent, from proactively lead generating, from pre-qualifying to presenting, to just all the aspects of it. It's broken down in what we call our 7-step listing process. And we include a whole bunch of stuff that you're going to need to have a competitive, really an unfair advantage in the marketplace, including our copywritten pre-listing pack, our copywritten listing presentation, all the other aspects of what we teach in the coaching program. If you want to build your team, there's tons of content there on how to build a team, when to add staff members, how to always build a business that's designed around profit first, which is it's something different that Julie and I have always focused on. Is the point of your being in a real estate business or any business is to have profit, and with that profit you then reinvest it, and with that reinvestment then you can create passive wealth for yourself. We have buyer systems, buyer presentations. If you want to know how you can actually start selling more houses to buyers quicker, it really starts with having a professional approach, which is our buyer presentation is all about. Our buyer presentation is designed to lead that buyer to signing an exclusive buyer agency contract. That's what we want all of you to consider having in your real estate business. There's luxury home information in there.
New construction.
But
it's not just giving you the pre-listing package. You all know that you need a pre-listing package. It's the coaching calls that go with the pre-listing package, showing you how to present each page in the pre-listing package. So there's a difference between, hey, here's a presentation, good luck, right? Versus here's how you actually present. Here are the scripts. Here's the pattern. Here's what you can expect when the seller says this, you say this. This is that system. That's the major difference. Is we don't just give it to you. We show you specifically how to use it. I don't remember how many hundreds of topical coaching calls there are, but there's a lot.
Well, in Premier Coaching, what Julie's saying is you do have replays you can listen to, but also, here's the best part. You get a daily semi-private coaching call when you join Premier Coaching. You get a daily, I'm going to say that again. We do it on a private Facebook page, but you get a daily semi-private. You get to see your coach, you get to ask questions, and there's also a lot of exclusivity as far as access to other coaching members. So it's a community. And what Julie and I wanted to create with our coaching business, and what we have created, is almost like a movement. We wanted to create a group of people that wanted to build, that had like-minded goals and objectives, that wanted to build real estate businesses that would last, wanted to build businesses that would have the elasticity to work no matter what the market conditions were, no matter what the interest rates were, people that could have confidence knowing no matter what was going on in the news or whatever, they could wake up and they could be of service to other people and they could make money through buying and selling real estate. And that's not something you see in the marketplace anymore. A lot of people are buying into this belief that they can only build their real estate businesses when the market is going one direction. We know that you can build your business no matter what direction the market is going. And that's what we coach you to do. And how do we know this? Because Julie and I sold real estate at a high level. We sold over 100 houses our first year. For almost 10 years after that, we sold between 100 and 200 houses. And we did this when we were in our 20s. And since then, we've been coaching agents all over the country. And some of the most famous, most successful agents, Bravo TV stars, some of the top producing agents and some of the top producing real estate brokerages, they are personal coaching clients, names you've heard of. And the reason that they have all had us or have us as real estate coaches is because of the fact that we take a practical and tactical approach to helping them build a real estate business that's going to produce consistent profit. And I know that's if you're new in real estate, or if you're new in thinking like an entrepreneur, some of these thoughts that I'm sharing with you don't necessarily resonate with you because you don't understand the importance of them yet. But trust me, you will. Around the same time you're starting to pay your taxes, or you're having to realize,
That's true.
You won all these awards, but you've got nothing to show for it. That's because you followed the wrong model.
No model.
And we do take we do take a gloves off approach when we are telling you guys what we think is best for your business. And sometimes maybe it comes off as opinionated, but we do have the opinion that you should be building a business that's designed around helping people and producing profit. That is our opinion, and we're not going to change it. Even if some new flash in the pan, shiny object idea comes around that you guys all think is the greatest thing since sliced bread, Julie and I have the depth and breadth of experience to look at some of these ideas that are being presented to you in the marketplace and know that they're Mickey Mouse and malarkey, and they're just going to do nothing other than separate you from your money. And we're going to tell you that. We're always going to tell you that. That is our moral obligation as being leaders in this industry. So we love being coaches. This is something we'll always do because we sincerely appreciate, in a deeply rooted way, the success that you guys experience, and knowing that in some small little part that we are part of that. It makes us incredibly happy.
Yes, and it's not just us, Tim and Julie Harris. It is our team of Harris certified coaches who have your back. That's Harris certified coaches. They are all actively selling real estate. Most of them are brokers, and everybody's available to you all the time. We don't hide out from our clients. So you have something going sideways, you need help, something's confusing to you, you just reach out and one of us will help you always. So
it's important you understand this isn't just a bunch of stuff you download. This is actually something that you have tons of content. Everything's done for you. You're never going to have to wonder, what am I supposed to do now? What is my plan for the next 6 months, 6 years, 10 years, 20 years? It's all for you in the Premier Coaching. But the most important aspect of it is you do have direct access to a coach. And our program, guys, it starts out around $100 per month. It's a no-brainer. If you want to learn more about Premier Coaching, which all of you should, text the word success to 47372. Text the word success to 47372. And one of our new member coaches will call you back, and you'll have a direct conversation. And after you join Premier Coaching, and like I said, you can join Premier Coaching for around $100 a month. You're going to get a personal call from Jeff or someone from his team, and they're going to personally onboard you into the system, show you how to download and how everything works. And then you have access to our 24-hour coaching on demand system. So if you have a question, it's an AI system basically. If you have a question, a concern, it's in the middle of the night that you don't understand something, you can plug that question into our AI system, and it's going to give you the answer. It's going to help you know what to download from our website, Harris Learning, and know what to do and how to apply that information. So this is a complete system. It's a dynamic system. We're always growing it, and we're always maturing it. We're always going back and making sure things are better. Julie's in charge of all that in our business. It's her primary responsibility in the company. It's always improving the content. So that's what coaching is, and that's what coaching should be. Now, a lot of people call coaching that's really just training. Like, there's people that make videos on YouTube and they call it coaching. That's not really coaching. That's training, and training has a place. Training is essentially where you go and you get introduced to the areas in which you need to improve. If you really want to take your business to the next level, you can skip that training part and you can go right to the coaching part, and you can obviously grow your business a lot faster. So just text the word success to 47372. So we apologize for telling you to consider joining our coaching program, but never telling you what coaching is, and now hopefully you will know.
That's right. In spades. All right. So back to our topic du jour, 10 regrets to avoid having in 10 years, but let's start with 10 regrets to avoid having in 10 months. We want you to be proactive about this. If you missed the beginning to this, get caught up with yesterday's podcast where we did points number 1, 2, and 3. And I think today, Tim, our next 2 points you're going to really like, because we see this in coaching all the time. These are things for them to absolutely actively work on. These are things that you don't want to regret. Point number 4, what we would call health and fitness fails. How long are you going to wait to get into shape? I know some of you guys, you don't want to hear this. You're turning red right now. You feel like we're picking on you, but that's why you've got to be proactive. That way you can thank yourself even 10 weeks from now for getting it together. So health and fitness fails. How long are you going to wait to get in shape? Does it take a health scare to get you into action? Did you know that 78% of patients hospitalized with COVID are overweight, and most who die have already got cardiovascular disease or hypertension before they got COVID-19.
Wasn't it 74% of the ones that died were had obviously they were overweight?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And had other conditions. So, something was on the path of getting them, but COVID finished them off. So start today and turn that ship around. Working out at Orange Theory, CrossFit, Zumba. It's not just good for you, but it is also good for your business. Learn the Ford script. That's part of our coaching, talking about family, occupation, recreation dreams while you're getting in shape, and you will get more business as well.
There's so many side stream benefits to actually working out. Just aside from the health ones, which should be
fairly obvious.
Which should be fairly obvious, but enough of a motivation for you to get in shape.
Yeah.
But the other benefits are that if you're doing it, so first of all, it's great to work out by yourself, and maybe during COVID, a lot of you had to work out that way. Julie and I just got in the habit of going on long walks in our neighborhood, and we met people that way. But if you were to start, if you were to join, for example, we use Orange Theory as an example, but there's a lot of other examples. The reason that we like group workouts is because you develop friendships, and there's also some informal accountability that starts to, arise because you saw Bob at Orange Theory every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Bob wasn't there, for 2 weeks, and all of a sudden you're going to say, Bob, where the heck were you? Bob's going to feel somewhat responsible for being there. You'll start to develop friendships. You'll start to develop relationships with people that you never would have normally met. And they're all on the same journey. They all want to get in better shape. They all want to live longer. They all want to have healthier lives while they're alive, right? They don't want to have some sort of easily avoidable virus, basically, take them out. And so that's a little secret to building your centers of influence and past clients. Start doing things that you like. I was talking about the car hobby earlier. If I were still selling real estate, if Julie and I were still selling real estate, I promise you I'd be involved in a billion car things. And so this is the fitness thing is one of the easiest ways, because if it's a cardiovascular based fitness thing like Orange Theory is, what's going to happen is towards the end of the workout, people, especially those who took it seriously, their endorphins are going to be flying off the charts. And so people are going to be feeling really good. And it's super easy to make friends and bond with other people after you've all been through some hellish workout.
That's very true.
Now, remember, on these big group workouts, you don't just have to go there and basically work out till you pass out. You can hang out and you can sort of work your way up. No one's going to, generally speaking, no one's going to ridicule you for going slow. Go slow at first and then start increasing your pace. But other people, again, you're going to motivate other people. And I think some of you, and I totally, completely sympathize with you and understand, some of you have just gotten to this habitual lifestyle and you're surrounded by other people that also are, that food has become somewhat of a social bridge. It's what everyone does. They eat constantly.
They go out and have a beer together. Whatever.
Right, exactly. And you're surrounded by other people who are about the same size as you. So you don't even necessarily, your mind has readjusted to the fact that everyone's overweight and fat around you, and that's just become normal. Well, again, that's something else. If you start losing weight, some of you might have the subconscious mooring line that the loss of the weight or losing weight, you're going to somehow start making the people around you who are also pleasantly fat feel rejected because you're not wanting to eat like them or have that same lifestyle. And some of them will feel that way. Same way when it comes to wealth building, by the way. But what happens is you'll be the beacon. You'll be the lighthouse in the fog that's going to lead them to a new way of being. And then they're going to start having more respect for you as they start to emulate you in your new healthy lifestyle. So these are all the side stream benefits and more of getting in shape. It's something that all of you will do. And here's the biggest one. As you get in shape, as you lose weight, as you start looking in the mirror, you're going to catch a glance of this person looking back at you that you hadn't seen for 20 or 30 years in some cases. And then you're going to discover that you can do everything that you've ever wanted to do in your life. Your confidence is going to be off the charts because losing weight, especially as you get older, is not easy. Your body has just gotten used to being a certain size, and that's the way it's going to be. You can do something about it. You can change it. You can be proactive about it. And as you do it, then you're going to start realizing, you know what? I was told that in the 40s, I would just be the way I was. I was supposed to gain weight every year, and then 50s, 60s, 70s the same way. But look at me. I got in shape, and now I'm starting to understand that I can actually do anything I want to with my life. And I do want to become a millionaire, a decamillionaire. I do want to have these experiences while I'm still on planet Earth that I've always dreamed of having. And I'm not going to hold myself back anymore. And for some of you, the loss of the weight is going to be the big breakthrough.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about that, Tim, you point this out, the whole discipline of it. It's not a mistake that our top producing coaching clients are both good at this health and fitness thing and other things like maintaining a schedule that has to do with profitability, like we talked about yesterday, proactive lead generation, because it's this, I'm not a scientist, but my suspicion is it's the same part of your brain, that discipline, right? So usually when you see somebody that's overweight, you look at their desk and it's also a mess and they really don't follow a schedule. And one thing leads to the next. But when they turn this around, then the discipline of being better in business also follows.
So discipline, yes, but I think the real thing is they've realized there's something truly on the other side of doing what they don't want to do and they don't want to do at the highest level for a long period of time. And depending on your weight situation, a long period of time, if you mix that with low carb, you could have all your weight off of you within 6 months to a year, depending on your situation. It's quite amazing how, what would be the word, adaptable your body is to losing weight.
And it's satisfying, to have effort equals results.
Right.
You don't always have that every day in real estate, right?
But that's right, exactly. But that's the greatest mindset.
It's awesome.
Twist ever, because you change. There has to be something to the way your brain is wired. And when your brain starts to feel, when you become healthier, your body becomes healthier. You're obviously having a better overall operating system, right? Your cardiovascular system and the rest of it. There has to be something that gets rewired in your brain, that your approach to life in general and interacting with other humans has to be elevated versus if you're overweight. You can sense it when you're around. How often do you come across, I know of a few, I do, but how often do you come across somebody who's overweight, who is also has a great marriage, who's very successful, who is, basically all the other aspects of their life is a 10, and yet they're overweight. It's not unusual. It's very unusual because all those things are interlaced. And I know this, for some of you, it's annoying when Julie and I talk about it. I read your feedback with regards to us talking about working out. But guess what? We're going to keep saying it because we know it's true. And if you know it's true as well, and you know how I know you know it's true? Because you're annoyed when we talk about working out.
That's right.
You don't want to hear it.
Busted.
You don't be busted, exactly. Next point, Julie.
Okay, so these are regrets to avoid. Point number 5, you're going to like this one. Relying on the 3 B's of BS for your success. Ooh, what are those? Building a team. These are things that you believe now are required for your success. The three B's: building a team, buying business, or building your brand.
Hold on. I can't believe you thought, with all due respect,
it sounds
my
like
love,
Tim, doesn't it?
But it does sound like Tim. You actually, that's original Julie material.
It
It
is.
sounds just, you're channeling your inner Tim.
I guess, because here's the thing. None of those 3 B's are actually related to your success. Stop looking for external reasons and take ownership of your own trajectory. Learn to proactively lead generate, or you will never be in control of your potential.
Yeah, it is, especially on social networking. How often do you get contacted by somebody who's going to, remember, they're direct messaging you, right? And they're telling you they're going to help you work on your brand. Well, if they were branding experts, as it seems like everybody and their brother is claiming to be, that and social media expert, if they were really good at what they're claiming to be really good at, wouldn't you have already known about them from their incredible branding?
Wouldn't you have already gone to them on your own? Just saying.
Versus basically them having to direct contact you. Have you guys ever put those thoughts together? How funny that is? Like Zillow, when Zillow had some of the most professional, organized calling floors ever in the real estate industry. And I think they had them in 3 different states.
Calling floors.
Right. They had rooms full of people that were cold calling agents, basically. I think they were in San Francisco, Seattle. No, they were in San Diego. I think another one was in Seattle. Another one was, they were trying to do another one in the Midwest, but never really took off. So yeah, they were cold calling agents. And they were offering to sell agents buyer leads. Now, you guys don't see the irony in that, how hilarious that is? That here you guys are being cold called by someone trying to sell you a buyer lead, whereas you could have gotten that lead yourself had you actually been doing what they're doing to sell you that lead, which is calling people.
Furthermore, that lead is not just your lead. It's crazy. People think that they got that, oh, that's mine, and then they hoard that lead. It was also probably sold to everybody else that you know,
right,
and through another company in addition to Zillow. So it is kind of crazy. So that's why I called it the 3 B's of BS.
And this is that's beautiful, Julie. I love that.
You.
And this is the reason that people are oftentimes struggling needlessly in the industry, is because they're believing one of the 3 B's of the 3 B's of what is it again? 3 B's of BS for your success.
Right.
Yeah, damn, Julie, that even rhymes.
Thank you.
You were the one caffeinated when you wrote point number 5. Holy tamale.
Should we do one more today?
Yeah, let's do one more.
One more. Okay. So hopefully you guys are writing things down and committing to not having these problems moving forward. Number 6, allowing a failure, a string of failures, or a bad month to become your theme song versus just saying next and moving on. You've got to adopt the it's too soon to tell mentality. It's too soon to tell is better than making your temporary failure into an adult failure spiral. Now, I have an example that stays with me. I had a new coaching client come in, and I was asking her about, what had happened. This was before COVID, what had happened in her previous year. And she said, I spent the entire year putting together this big, it was like a $4 or $5 million commercial deal, right? And I said, well, what happened with that? Well, it didn't close, and I never got back on my feet. So that client had made that her theme song for the entire year, right? So you've got to be careful about something that happens to you today. Sometimes deals don't close or something doesn't work out. You can't make that your theme song. You can't turn that. I've had really experienced clients, and I know you've had this too, where they've been doing, 30, 40, 50 million in volume a year after year, and they have a batch of bad deals. They have something that kind of hits the fan. And then they say things like, well, I guess just real estate has started to be really awful and I need to take a break or this or that. They're hanging their hat on that isolated situation.
Let's make this point really practical. Mm-hmm. So the essence of this point is basically not understanding that your emotions will, especially in business, will always betray you.
Always.
And I know in this day and age, we're supposed to believe that our emotions are essentially our higher self, and that's absolutely not true. Anyone who's trying to tell you that your emotions are your highest self and your highest form of thinking and interacting as a human is not telling you the truth, or they don't know the truth. Straight up lying, or lying just out of their own ignorance. Mm-hmm. Because the reality of it is your emotions change constantly. Constantly you're feeling hungry, you're feeling sad, which is leading, like we call it with Zoe, we call it hangry, right? You guys with kids know what I'm talking about. Some of you even are hangry sometimes. Well, your emotions change depending on your internal physiology, and you can't very well change that. And if you're always basically pinning your hopes and you're only working when you feel a certain way, or only working at your highest level when you're feeling a certain way, you're never going to accomplish jack. And I was actually watching, and I put this on our private Facebook page, a great video from Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about
some of that.
Talking really about essentially success. And it always goes back to the same thing. And everyone, I don't believe there's a single person that's ever listened to us on our podcast that doesn't already know what I'm about to say is true. If you want ever increasing levels of success in your business and personal life, you have to do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. You have to do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. And most of what it's going to take for you to be successful in life is going to require at least, when you're getting started in any new business, it's going to take probably realistically 5 to 6 hours of doing that a day. Mm-hmm. As you become more successful, as your systems get in place, you're still going to have to probably do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level, at least an hour or two a day. And as soon as you stop, you lose whatever you built. Nothing will stay the same. Complacency is a word in the English language that isn't really, it shouldn't even be a real word. It's like a fake word. Complacency is this idea that you can stop doing something and things will stay the same. But the reality of it is in our lives as humans, nothing stays the same. Everything around us is constantly changing. How you think, how you feel, your body is constantly changing. Your financial situation is changing. Inflation is taking hold in the economy right now. And so that's certainly changing your economic situation. Nothing stays the same. And when you try to stay the same, let's say it took you 10 years to build to where you are. If you say, you know what, I'm good, I'm just going to coast for a while, you'll lose whatever you build over the last 10 years inside 1 year, if that. It'll just evaporate. That's how fast things change. And you always have to stay doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do at the highest level. And the fun question, and you already know this answer, what are the 3 to 5 things you're avoiding the most in your real estate business? Write those things down. Now, those things that you just wrote down, do you notice those are the very same things? They're going to put you directly in front of people and put you in a position to help them and also make money. Have you noticed the things you avoid the most are the things that actually are going to get you the most results the quickest? Isn't that interesting?
It's always the same, when we do speaking events or even on this podcast, and we ask them, okay, let's say that you had to take 3 listings by this time next week. What would you write down, right? And they do know what to do. It's those same 5 things that put you directly in front of buyers and sellers, right? And yet, how many times do agents hide out and they think that they don't know? You actually do know. And I loved what Arnold Schwarzenegger said. He had a lot of congruency with what we coach as well. And he said, don't tell me that you don't have time to do this. You have 24 hours. He goes, let's say you sleep for 6 of them. And then he said, and I know some of you guys are going to say, well, I need 8 or 9 hours. He said, sleep faster. I thought that was great. And it's the same point. You do have time, and it is actually easier to be consistent with what you're doing than to start and stop again all the time. And those of you who do work out, you know that, because when you take 2 or 3 days off, don't you feel it a lot more going back? And even with my music background, my music coaches would always say, you take 1 day off of practice, you're not losing that day. You're actually losing the past 2 or 3 days that you put into it, because when you come back to it, you have to recreate that and then go forward.
Well, you and I have bought, and we bring along with us on this road trip, when we're halfway through, we got about another 3 weeks, and then we're going to be back in Puerto Rico. But we bought a 40-pound
barbell.
Not barbell.
Dumbbell.
What is it called? Kettlebell.
Kettlebell.
And we bought a 25-pound weight, and we've been working out every day. But I promise you, maybe me more than you, because you've been more
trying to be pretty
religious
consistent.
than me about it. But when we go back, it's not going to be easy for us to get
no.
back in the swing of things.
Me-
And furthermore, I would
That's
say,
right.
if you and I went back to doing proactive lead generation, if we were to get,
Sure.
sell real estate again, we would take some time to get our
back in the
skills back,
saddle.
even though we've gotten
Absolutely.
really good at coaching, and our coaches have gotten really good at coaching people to do the work. But when you get back in the action of doing the work, you're going to have to reform those neural
That's right.
pathways.
Yeah.
But the same thing is true if you guys never start doing the correct work in real estate.
It gets harder the longer you wait.
Because you're so inundated, and your ego doesn't want you to believe that somehow you made the wrong decision. So if you think you're going to listen to this podcast, and hopefully you're going to go over to iTunes, you're going to give us a 5-star review. Those of you who are really ready to go to the next level, you're going to text the word success to 47372. You're going to join our coaching program. But here's what the real reality of it is, and I know this is true. Our message only appeals to a small percent of the agents who listen, even though this is the #1 listened to daily podcast for real estate agents in at least the United States, because most of the other agents, it isn't that they don't know what we're saying is true. It's just they're not ready to, it's not even that they're not ready to hear what we have to say, because you guys listen every day. It's just that you guys aren't ready to do the real work of real estate, and you're still exercising all of your other all of your other possible options, with air quotes, right? You're going to do the branding. You're going to do the 3 BS things Julie talked about. You're going to try to buy leads. You're going to maybe try to work on it. I'm going to join somebody's team, and that'll make it so I never have to do the real work. I'm just going to basically wait around for them to throw me leads. You're going to take a lot of half measures, half steps, and you're going to waste a lot of time, and you're going to end up exactly where you started 10 years from now. And I've seen that happen.
Only with more debt, because you throw it all on the credit card.
And less confidence, and probably more weight. And
Assuming you stay licensed long enough that we could say that.
I mean, that's the unfortunate truth, guys. That's this industry. This industry is like a high-speed blender. If you basically don't take the right measures, you're going to get churned up and spit out so fast you can't even believe it. It's almost like the system is designed to basically help you fail increasingly faster, unless you decide to really have the discipline to slow yourself down, to stay focused, to take almost a monastic approach to basically building your business, and realize that it's life in general is about small base hits. And that's really what getting to the dugout, that's a step. Getting to the point where you can have the coach will have enough confidence to call you up to actually take a swing, that's a step. Getting to the point where you don't strike out, that's a step. Getting to the point where you can actually get on first base, that's a step. Life is about first base hits. Life is about simple steps. It's not about thinking that somehow, you're got your real estate license and now somehow you're a grand slam hitter. No, you're not. The way you might get a couple grand slams, you might get lucky, but the reality of it is the way you win the game long term. It's like Moneyball, right? It's going to be small base hits. Small base hits are going to win the day at the end of the day. Don't look for the big home runs. If they show up in your life, that's great, and hopefully they will, but they probably won't at enough frequency that it's going to make any difference. And some of you are just stringing some home runs together. You might have a home run, and then a year later you'll have another one. That's no way to build a business. You don't have a business. You have a hobby, right? Which is fine if that's what you want. But for those of you who want to build a business, those of you who want to actually build wealth to the point where you're rich, where your money works for you, you no longer work for your money, adopt the mindset and the lifestyle of doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. The you from 10 months from now, let alone 10 years from now, is going to love the you today that finally decided for you to take action. The next step forward for you is to become one of our coaching clients. Text the word success to 47372, and we're going to text you back a link, and you're going to then want to join the coaching program. And that's the simplest way for you to build your business the quickest with the fewest mistakes. Why would you figure out along the way what you're not doing right or what you're doing right? Why don't you just join the coaching program, take the next natural step, and climb your way up the mountain, hire the best Sherpas there are in the industry. A lot of people have called us the #1 real estate coaches in the nation. You guys have heard all this before. Join the number one real estate coaches in the nation and learn how to climb to the top of Mount Everest the quickest with the most assured path. In other words, don't just say you're going to show up at the base of Mount Everest and somehow you think you're going to know as much as the Sherpa that goes up there every 2 weeks, right, and gets to the top. That's what a lot of you do. I am new. I have a real estate license. I'm going to go to Mount Everest and somehow I'm going to buy all the right gear and I'm going to know how to climb and when to
I'll
climb.
watch a video on YouTube. I'll be all right. I'll just Google it if I get lost.
The smart people, the ones that get to the top, they go there. They find who the best Sherpas are. They hire the best Sherpas. They listen to the best Sherpas, and the best Sherpas tell them what to do, when to do it, how to do it. Yeah. That's what you should be doing in all aspects of your life, not just if you decide to climb Mount Everest.
Indeed.
Yeah,
so
we have coaching.
Yeah,
we have coaching clients doing that, by the way.
I know. It's amazing.
Crazy.
I know.
Yeah, what are you thinking? You know,
I hope they have coaches.
You know, it's cold up there, right?
It's cold up there.
So in the meantime, if you guys need to get a hold of us, you can text me directly at 512-758-0206, 512-758-0206. In the meantime, your homework from today's podcast is to text the word success to 47372. Have a fantastic day. We'll talk with you on the show tomorrow.
This program has been a presentation by Tim and Julie Harris, Real Estate Coaching. For more information on our real estate coaching and training programs, visit our website at timandjulieharris.com. Remember to tune in weekdays at noon for upcoming shows, and until next time, thank you for listening to Real Estate Coaching Radio with Tim and Julie Harris.